It is wild how when we have the right orientation with effort, it generates energy within us. We back, baby, with another reflection on the Daily Vedantic. This one is as practical as it is profound within this philosophy. And it is the reorientation, the right orientation with our relationship with effort. You see, effort in the West, we think of effort, well, globally, we think of effort as a dissipation, a usage of energy, and a loss of energy. But the right effort, which maps we mentioned this recently in an episode, right action within Vedanta is defined as that which generates energy. So an action that generates energy, the right action or the right effort, has the opposite effect, paradoxically, the opposite effect that we think of when it comes to effort. Instead of a loss of a unit of energy, you gain a unit of energy while in motion. This is paradoxical to us because we're so used to wrong action. We're so used to putting in time, effort for some selfish pursuit and it completely agitating us, exhausting us. I built companies for years that burned me out at the end to whereas the last time this happened, I was in a daze for probably 14, 15 months. So burnt out because it was all ego engineering, financial engineering, selfish pursuits on selfish pursuits each day, week, month, year. Completely destroyed me. Sent me to the ER with a heart condition that I still had today. It destroyed me. Certainly did not generate energy within me. Now fast forward a decade later and 3 companies, 3 little kids, 200 angel investments and advising founders all over the world, seemingly 24 hours a day. And I don't remember the last time I had a stressful day. It is wild how when we have the right orientation with effort, it generates energy within us. We've mentioned a few of these things in recent episodes that ladder up to effort generating energy within us. We mentioned bhavana, the right attitude and holistic approach to what we do, and understanding it's not what we do, it's what we do it for that really matters. Whatever you're about to do, it might be running a marathon. If you have the right understanding of what you're doing it for, the right orientation of what you're doing it for, you might feel more energy on the other side of that marathon than any 8-hour night of sleep you've ever had. You have the wrong reason for what you're doing it for. Might be recuperating for 2 weeks because of your 6-7 hour mission that you took on for some selfish reason. Weird side note, I know a guy here in LA that ran 100 marathons in 100 days. Crazy. And he said that he had no injuries from it until he got to the last week. And he started to think about how it was going to be over soon. He said the last day was the most painful out of all of them. Not 20 days in, 20 marathons in a row, not 50, not 70. He said something happened once he's convinced that once he started to see an end to it, his body started to break down. But way before, he couldn't believe that he'd be 10 marathons in. And he's like, dude, I felt totally fine the next day. So it's a wild side note. But you can be on the other side of 10, 15, 20 marathons. And he still had a day job each day. He was doing the 26 miles, documenting on social media a few months ago. and doing it after work. So he's doing this while he also had a day job. Not only was he able to go to the day job, but he's able to do 20, 30, 40, 70 more marathons after that. And it was all to fundraise and raise awareness for a fundraise he was doing. Talk about what you're doing it for. Mattering so much more than what you're doing. We talked about the alignment with your natural wiring. Swadharma. Your nature. The right attitude, the right aptitude, the right wiring, the right reasons, the higher ideals of why you're doing what you're doing. You get these things right and you have the right relationship with effort. To where not only is effort generating energy within you, it feels effortless. The effort feels effortless. What might have been, and this pulls in the concept from a few days ago, what might have felt like poison in the beginning, bitterness or effort, a real struggle in the beginning, ends up becoming a delight, ends up becoming nectar, ends up becoming the thing you look forward to. You run to the gym looking forward to it. Versus 4 weeks prior, you did everything to procrastinate going to the gym. So what does it look like when you have the right alignment of your nature, the right higher ideals, and understanding of not just what you're doing, but what you're doing it for? The right attitude, holistic approach to what you're doing. What does it look like? Well, it's a lot like an albatross soaring 600 miles on a single flap of its wings. And I couldn't believe it when I first heard this, looked it up, confirmed it, that an albatross can soar up to 600 miles on a single flap of its wings because it's the perfect alignment with its nature and nature itself, how the world works. It's preternatural understanding of high pressure, low pressure systems, temperatures, winds, and gliding with nature in accordance with its own nature, built to fly. That same strong, massive bird could be in the water trying to paddle 600 miles. And it look a lot like regular old effort. Tiring, exhausting, destructive, breaking the animal, breaking that being down. But with the right relationship with effort, surrendering to our own nature, who we really are, what we're built for, and pitching ourselves up in our capabilities to the highest ideal possible. That right relationship looks a lot like single flap of the wings and you're going 600 miles down the road. That's today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic. We'll see you next time.